Interleague action, Rockies taking on the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field today. Rockies did put an end to their 10-game losing streak with a win in their final game against Miami. They're 19-27 now on the year. They're going to face Gio Gonzalez, and he will face Chichi Gonzalez, so a battle of the Gonzalezes for the Rockies and White Sox today. Gio Gonzalez, 10th start of the year, 4.91 ERA, 47 2/3 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, 47 hits, 28 walks, 157 whip. 1-1 is his record. Rockies lost by a pretty large margin to the White Sox in both of their games they played at Coors Field just a few weeks ago. Rockies hoping for better results here on the road, and they are a better team on the road. David Dahl will be the batter, hitting .270 on the year. He swings and fouls on out of play. We have a bit of a different looking lineup for the Rockies today. Nolan Arenado getting a day off. Gio Gonzalez coming back to the White Sox, a team he's now with for, I believe, a third time, but the first time he's ever actually pitched in the majors for them, pitch in the dirt. White Sox are fourth place in the American League Central. They're 22-25. They look like a 100-win team by how they played at Coors Field, but we'll have to see how things go here today. Gonzalez getting the sign he likes into his motion windup, and the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. 53 degrees under cloudy skies here on the south side of Chicago. Wind is blowing from left to right. Not that high of wind. Only 4 miles per hour sustained at the moment. 1-2 pitch to Dahl is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. That's out number 1. First out of the day is the first strikeout picked up by Gio Gonzalez.
The second baseman with Owings.
Chris Owings will bat now. He's batting second and playing second base today. Ryan McMahon is DHing. Batting .273 on the year, 3 runs batted in, a .794 OPS for Owings. Takes a pitch outside. He had a stretch of 3 or 4 straight games where he had pinch hits, doubles and singles. Yet to hit a home run this year, but he's on a pretty good stretch right now. He swings and pops one up, and that's going to be caught by the second baseman, Mendick. And lineup for the Rockies, batting third, the right fielder Charlie Blackmon, batting cleanup at shortstop Trevor Story, batting fifth at first base Daniel Murphy. Ryan McMahon is DHing and batting sixth. Batting seventh at left field today is Ian Desmond, batting eighth and catching Elias Diaz. And batting ninth, getting his first start of the season at third base is Josh Fuentes. So Nolan Arenado getting a bit of a breather today. Really in a bit of a rough stretch right now. Charlie Blackmon takes a pitch outside, ball 1. So Blackmon moved down to the third spot in the order. Story is batting cleanup rather than his usual second. I say move down for Blackmon. Blackmon is batting third as usual, I should say. 298 on the year. Pitch is going to miss low and away.
2 balls, no strikes.
Nolan Arenado did homer in Game 2 against Miami in the 9th inning. And what was the only runs of the game for the Rockies. But otherwise, it's been a bit of a struggle, especially on the last homestand and into this road trip for Arenado. So just getting a breather today. First time he has gotten a day off this year. Everyone else for the Rockies has gotten at least one of those. Now Nolan Arenado, the final to join those players. Pitch number 10 of this first inning is a 3-0 to Blackmon, and it's swung on and lined towards the gap in left center field. That ball's going to get down, and it's off the wall. Blackmon cruising into second base, and that is going to be a 2-out double for the right fielder Blackmon. Blackmon put a charge into that ball. And it'll keep the line moving for Trevor Story, who's on an interesting stretch right now. He's been hitting quite a few home runs. The average has been going down, though, 257. Does have around 4 or 5 home runs in his last 10 games or so. 11 homers, 28 runs batted in on the year for him now. And the slugging percentage is going up, so that 852 OPS is very solid. And he will bat with 2 outs and the runner Blackmon in scoring position. Lefty and righty matchup. First pitch from Gonzalez here is taken inside, ball 1. Story has struggled in his career against Gio Gonzalez, just 1 hit and 7 at-bats and 6 strikeouts. So certainly looking to get something different going here. Gonzalez looks towards second base where Blackman is, delivers a 1-0, and it's swung on and missed.
1-1.
Ben Kuchner-Kavich of Purple Row along with you. Want to let you know this game is not affiliated with MLB The Show 20, Major League Baseball, or the Colorado Rockies. 1-1 pitch from Gonzalez to Story is taken outside. Hitters count now on the shortstop Trevor Story. Gio Gonzalez, formerly with the Nationals, also with the Oakland Athletics to begin his career. Brief time with the Brewers recently. Now has signed a 1-year deal with the White Sox. 2-1 pitch is going to be high and tight, 3 balls and a strike. Daniel Murphy waiting on deck. Should Trevor Story keep things going? One-year, $5 million contract for Gio Gonzalez, has an option for next year. 3-1 pitch to Story is swung on and grounded into right field, a base hit. Blackman will be held at third, and there are runners on the corners with 2 outs now for Daniel Murphy.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 9, Daniel Murphy.
So yeah, Gio Gonzalez was drafted in 2004 by the White Sox. Then he was traded to the Phillies in the Jim Thome deal in 2005. Then he was traded back to the White Sox along with Gavin Floyd for Freddie Garcia in the 2006-07 offseason. Then he was traded to the A's along with Ryan Sweeney for Nick Swisher. At the time, Gonzalez was the number 1 prospect in the White Sox organization. The A's eventually would trade him to the Nationals. He spent time there from 2012 to 2018 and got traded over to the Brewers and returned on a 1-year deal, and now signing a 1-year deal with the White Sox. So everything coming full circle for Gio Gonzalez, finally getting to make his first start as a member of the Pale Hose. And that pitch is going to miss inside, ball 1. Gonzalez pitching from the set position. A couple of 2-out base runners for the Rockies here in the top of the first. 1-2 pitch to Murphy is going to miss outside. Count evens at 2. Rockies trying to get something going there. Last place in the National League West. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and that'll retire the side. Rockies get a 2-out double from Blackman and a base hit from Story, but Murphy strikes out, and we're scoreless going to the bottom of the first. Chichi Gonzalez making his 9th start of the year, 1-4, his record 40 in a third innings pitch, 28 strikeouts, 9 walks. ERA is at 5.36, though a pretty decent start his last time out. Went 5 solid innings. 136 is his whip, 46 hits allowed. And really, he's been among the more consistent starters for the Rockies this year. Kyle Freeland has played like the ace of the staff so far. It's in there for a called strike. At 19-27 is last place in the National League West for the Rockies. 10-game losing streak will certainly do that for you. Rockies trying to get a little bit closer to trying to trek back to the 500 mark today. There's a swing and a cue shot towards first base. Murphy will take it himself. Leury Garcia is retired for out number 1. Lineup for the White Sox. Center fielder Leury Garcia, batting second the third baseman Yoan Moncada, batting third shortstop Tim Anderson, in left field batting cleanup Eloy Jimenez, batting fifth the first baseman Edwin Encarnacion, batting sixth the DH Jose Abreu. There's a line drive foul and out back towards the screen. Yoan Moncada, 302, 8 home runs, 26 runs batted in, and 834 OPS. Up and down the White Sox lineup. Really good numbers against the Rockies in that 2-game set at Coors Field. Now just a brief 2-game set here at Chicago. Yoan Moncada tied for 4th place in the American League in terms of runs scored. There's a swing and a high fly ball towards right field. Going back on this one is Blackman. He's got it in range. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. Right fielder is Nomar Mazara today. Then the catcher Yasmani Grandal and the second baseman Danny Mendick will finish up the lineup for the White Sox. Tim Anderson will bat, 265, 507 slugging, so he's certainly been hitting for power. 808 is OPS. So we get to see Encarnacion and Abreu both in the lineup for the White Sox today. No DH at Coors Field. So we had to see either one or the other. 1-0 pitch coming to Tim Anderson's going to miss low, 2-0. Rockies got a couple of 2-out hits in their half of the first inning. 2 outs for the White Sox, and that pitch is low, 3 balls and no strikes. Eloy Jimenez, the left fielder, waiting on deck. That's in there for a called strike. The 3-1 is swung on and lined into left field, a base hit. Desmond overruns it and trying to move up to second base as Jimenez, the throw, got him. We go to the second inning, scoreless Rockies and White Sox. Ryan McMahon DHing today. He leads off the second inning. 13 home runs, still tied for 5th place in the National League. 30 runs batted in. He's batting .235 with a .314 on base percentage. Scuffling a little bit right now. Still has those really good power numbers, and he hits lefty as well. Remember those reverse splits belonging to McMahon throughout his career. Gio Gonzalez, his first pitch, is going to miss low. See, the shift is on Moncada. Anderson playing on the left side of the bag. Then Danny Mendick into shallow right field into the grass. 1-0 pitch is swung on and grounded right into the shift. Second baseman's got a long throw, though. Mendick fires, and not in time. McMahon beats it out for a leadoff infield single here in the second.
The left fielder, number 20, Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond will be the batter. Homered in Sunday's ball game, I should say. Off day for the Rockies yesterday. First pitch here is taken for a strike. 4th home run of the year for Desmond, batting .231 on the year with 13 runs batted in. Desmond getting the Rockies on the board in the 8th inning to tie the ball game. A really well-pitched game for both sides against Miami. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies and Caleb Smith for the Marlins, both going 7 strong. Rockies offense did not show up a whole lot in that series in Miami. Ian Desmond being the catalyst to get things going. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed to get him on strikes. That is out number 1. 3rd strikeout of the day now for Gio Gonzalez.
Batting it, the catcher, number 35,
Elias Diaz will be the batter, catching today. Batting against a lefty, Gio Gonzalez. 288, 1 home run, 4 driven in on the year for Diaz. He takes first pitch, strike called at the knees. 740 OPS for the Rockies' primarily backup catcher, though it's more of a platoon these days. Tony Wolters really struggling at the dish. 0-1 pitch is going to miss low. 5 for his last 15 at the plate over his last 6 games for Diaz. Pretty good stretch for him, getting hit around a third of the time. 1-1 pitch is going to miss low. Hitters count now on Elias Diaz. No pitcher spot on deck. It's Josh Fuentes getting his first start of the season. After being recalled prior to the series against Miami. There's a ground ball hit towards short to second for 1, back to first, and that is an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play grounded into by Elias Diaz. Scoreless ball game. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Jimenez, Encarnacion, Abreu due up for the White Sox. Eloy Jimenez, left fielder. Hitting much better against righties than against lefties this year, so reverse splits for him. First pitch from Chichi Gonzalez is taken for a strike, so a hit given up by Gonzalez, but a runner thrown out by Ian Desmond in that bottom of the first inning. Still facing the minimum is Chichi Gonzalez. There's a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Jimenez. 264 overall on the year. Pitch is swung on and missed. He got him on a pitch in the dirt. The ball gets away. It'll be Chichi Gonzalez to pick it up, fire to first, but not in time. Jimenez will reach on the strikeout and wild pitch. I don't know if I've ever really seen that before on the strikeout. Instead of the catcher throwing down, it caroms back to the pitcher who throws down, but not in time to get Jimenez. So we'll have to see if we'll have another opportunity to see a play like that again. Edwin Encarnacion, the batter, 280 on the year. So Southpaw, the White Sox mascot, getting the crowd excited. 1,112 runs scored across parts of 15 seasons for Encarnacion. A 1 pitch is going to miss low and away. Encarnacion time with the Reds, Blue Jays, Yankees, Mariners. 1-1 pitch is swung on and foul back to the screen. That's going to miss low and away. Count evens at 2 now. Signed a deal. I believe it became official on Christmas Day, or at least it was reported on Christmas Day this offseason. There's a foul back. And it was a pretty fun offseason compared to like the last 2 or so. Well, Bryce Harper, it took him until late into March to sign a couple off seasons ago. A lot of the players are really signed, most of them at least, by January or so this year. And of course, then we had Major League Baseball not being able to play, so then the season got pushed back, so we couldn't have anything nice. There's a fly ball to center field. Camping under it is Dahl. And finally, that one will come down. 1.5 mile high pop-up. That's out number 1. Let's look at the defense for the Rockies today. Again, no Nolan Arenado. Left to right in the outfield, Ian Desmond, David Dahl, Charlie Blackmon. Infield corners, Josh Fuentes and Daniel Murphy. Up the middle double play combination, Trevor Story and Chris Owings playing second base today in the battery. And consists of the catcher, Elias Diaz, and the starting pitcher, Chichi Gonzalez, in one half of the Gonzalez v. Gonzalez pitching matchup. Jose Abreu, 299 on the year, 10 home runs, pitch inside, ball 1. 25 runs batted in, a very good 900 OPS for Abreu, who's signed an extension with the White Sox. Really enjoys his time here, enjoys what Rick Hahn has made for him here in Chicago. On the south side, 1-0 pitch is swung on and chopped foul. And another good year for Jose Abreu. He's on a good stretch right now, 11 for his last 23 at the plate. So he is certainly one of the hotter hitters in the White Sox lineup right now. There's a swing and a ground ball foul. Abreu, and maybe it's just virtue of where he plays, seems to be underrated. Don't hear a whole lot about the White Sox, especially over on the West Coast and in the Mountain Time Zone. Of course, no one hears about the Mountain Time Zone team outside of the Mountain Time Zone either. 1-2 pitch is going to miss high. Low 90s fastball from Chichi Gonzalez. And he's really been one of the more consistent starters for the Rockies this year. Kyle Freeland has been by far the most. 2-2 pitch is swung on and ripped towards deep left field. It's hooking down the line, and that ball is foul. Abreu nearly hooked that one inside the foul or fair pole, but it's just a long strike, and now the 2-2 is just a bit outside, and the count goes full. Nomar Mazara is waiting on deck. Chichi comes set, looks over his shoulder, gets ready to deliver a 3-2, and it's swung on and grounded towards third. Fuentes goes to second for 1. Return throw, and that is a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn double play will get Chichi Gonzalez out of his second inning of work. We go to the third, scoreless Rockies and White Sox. Fuentes started that double play to end the second inning. He will lead things off now here in the third. A couple of pinch hit appearances against Miami. This is his first start of the year playing his natural third base position. Spelling his cousin Nolan Arenado today. First pitch is swung on and missed from Gio Gonzalez. Fuentes, you can see 3 runs scored in his last 4 games, including his appearances for the Albuquerque Isotopes. Yet to reach base here in just 2 at-bats in the majors. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Quickly 0-2 on Fuentes. Got a taste of Major League action last year. 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Hit a few home runs, did Fuentes, and seemed to do better as he got more playing time in the month of September. As there was a time where Fuentes was not getting many at-bats at all and seemed to be struggling as a result. Pitch misses low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Lineup will turn over now. Fuentes strikes out. He's the 4th victim who has gone down by way of the K against Gio Gonzalez today. David Dahl was the first. He struck out in the first inning. Look for better results this time. First pitch is going to miss low. Dahl 1 for 4 with a base hit in yesterday's ball game. The 1-0 is on the outside corner for a called strike. According to the Associated Press, Major League Baseball told players their prorated salaries would contribute to an average loss of $640,000 for each game over an 82-game season in empty ballparks. That was according to a presentation from the commissioner's office to the union. They painted a picture of a $10 billion industry shuttered by the contagion. They had a 12-page document titled The Economics of Playing Without Fans in Attendance. Dated May 12, was an initial step in negotiations aimed at starting the delayed season around the 4th of July. Teams say the proposed method of salvaging a season delayed by the coronavirus pandemic would still cause a $4 billion loss and would give Major League Baseball players 89% of the revenue. Dahl swings and misses, strikes out for the second time today. He's 0 for 2, 5th strikeout for Gio Gonzalez. Chichi pitching for the Rockies today in the Battle of the Gonzalezes. And Chris Owings will be the batter. Owners voted last week to propose salaries based on a 50-50 split of revenue, a framework players say is tantamount to the kind of salary cap they will never accept. Though the luxury tax threshold kind of acts as a de facto salary cap because owners do not want to go beyond that largely. Teams gave the Players Association their virus testing plan Friday and have waited to make their economic proposal. And the contention here from teams are that they would lose money with each additional game played. The Players Union, however, believes clubs would lose less money with more games. In addition, many teams and or their owners have stakes in their regional sports network that would benefit from additional games. Talking about the New York Yankees alone, they would have $312 million in local losses when you calculate their earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Owings strikes out. Gio Gonzalez has looked pretty good today. Chichi will try to match him with another scoreless inning in the bottom of the 3rd. Nomar Mazara hitting much better on the road than at home. Only .218 here at Guaranteed Rate Field, and away from home batting .299, .255 overall, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in for the White Sox right fielder in his first year with the club after coming over in a trade with the Rangers. First pitch is in there for a strike. So far, Chichi Gonzalez has faced the minimum today. He's given up a couple base runners, but a thrown out runner and then a double play have allowed him to only face the minimum. Quickly 0-2 now on Nomar Mazara as that one's fouled off. Gonzalez into his motion windup and the 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Also want to welcome anyone from Southside Sox who is tuning in. I want to thank Brett, the managing editor at Southside Sox, the White Sox SB Nation affiliate, who in the previous series at Coors Field against the White Sox did a very nice job of helping us to promote our simulation here. Swing and a miss, and Chichi Gonzalez gets Mazzara swinging for out number 1, his second strikeout of the day. Yasmani Grandal, the catcher, first year with the White Sox. He will bat now. Formerly with the Dodgers, Padres, and Brewers, Rockies have certainly seen plenty of him. 253 average on the year. He fouls the first pitch off. 10 homers, 27 runs batted in. Very solid numbers for the backstop for the White Sox. 821 OPS. Had an option that he declined his half of with the Brewers. Swings and pulls one foul. It's a loud strike, and quickly 0-2 now on Grandal as Chichi Gonzalez trying to make quick work of the Sox. So far has faced the minimum, though has allowed a couple base runners. 0-2 pitch is swung on and pulled towards deep right field, but it's going to hook foul and out of play. Yasmani Grandal, one of the few White Sox who largely did not have good numbers in that series at Coors Field, though he did hit a big 2-run home run in the final game. There's a swing and a pop foul and out of play. So I'm not sure if you consider this a separate series from that 2-game series at Coors Field, or if these are both this is just one 4-game home and away series. There's a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. So Rockies could be trying to avoid a sweep if you consider them to be the same series. Could even go for a split if they win both of these games here in Chicago. We will broadcast tomorrow's game for you if the Rockies win today. There's a pitch inside. Count evens at 2. And swinging a foul out of play once more. The 2-2. Outside, full count now. Waiting on deck is Danny Mendick, looking for his first appearance of the day. Still batting .326 on the year. We saw Mendick was leading the American League in batting average last time we saw him at Coors. 3-2 pitch is swung on and pulled foul. Grandal making Gonzalez work here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and that is out number 2. 3rd strikeout of the day for Chichi Gonzalez. Gets the first 2 here in the 3rd. And Danny Mendick will be the batter, number 9 hitter for the White Sox. 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in, now 3rd place in the AL in batting average. 828 is OPS, pitch misses outside, and quite a sneaky guy to put in your number 9 spot in your order. 3rd place in the AL in hitting, and not hitting for 2, and not too bad in terms of the power numbers either. 3 homers. Not just a slap hitter. 1-0 pitch is going to miss outside. 2-0. Mendick went 1 for 3 with a base hit in the last game he played. Still, the team we saw, the White Sox that faced the Rockies at Coors Field, looked like an offensive powerhouse, but 4th place in the American League. To a delivery is swung on and pulled towards deep left field. Desmond's going back, and he is going to make the catch running onto the track. And Chichi Gonzalez, though he has given up a couple of base runners, he still has faced the minimum through 3. Blackman, Story, Murphy due up for the Rockies in the 4th. Charlie Blackman kicks things off here in the 4th inning against Gio Gonzalez. First pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. 5 for 13 in Blackman's career against Gonzalez, so he has certainly seen him well. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled the other way. Quickly 0-2 on Blackman. And the 0-2. Just a bit low. 1-2 pitch. It's going to miss low. Count evens at 2. So we told you the Yankees, according to the Associated Press, would have $312 million in local losses before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization due to what's going on here at games with no fans. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Los Angeles Dodgers, $232 million in local losses. Mets, $214 million. Cubs, $199 million. Red Sox, $188 million. There's a swing and a high fly ball towards right field. It's fairly deep, but it's going to hook foul. Tigers are going to be, I don't know how you pronounce this acronym, if you're supposed to say EBITDA or EBIDTA. As Blackman strikes out for out number 1. It's already the 7th strikeout today for Gio Gonzalez, but Detroit has the lowest. So let's take a look at some of Gio Gonzalez carving up the Rockies hitters today. There's Josh Fuentes going down swinging. David Dahl swinging at a pitch out of the zone. There's Chris Owings going down by way of the K. And Charlie Blackman, you just saw, was another victim. Trevor Story got a base hit his first time up. He will try to put things, put an end to the strikeout streak. 1 for 1, base hit his first time up. It's 4 straight strikeouts for Gio Gonzalez. Line drive foul down the third base line for Story. Now 2 for 8. So amazing what your numbers can look like, going from 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts to now just batting .250 against him. There's a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Story, trying to avoid being the 5th straight K against Gio Gonzalez here in the top of the 4th. 52 pitches now for Gonzalez. The 0-2 pitch is just a little bit low, ball 1. So the lowest negative EBITDA, which is an accounting measure used to assess profitability, is for Detroit at $84 million. There's strike 3 called. Story strikes out. 8th K for Gio Gonzalez, his 5th straight now. Rather, 6th straight. No, it is 5. Excuse me. Daniel Murphy, the batter, 0 for 1 today, takes first pitch strike. It was Fuentes, Dahl, Owings, Blackman, now Story, so 5 in a row. Daniel Murphy struck out his first time up, .275 on the year, .330 on base percentage, .410 slugging. 0-1 is swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 on Murphy, 1 for 4 with a base hit in Sunday's ball game. Off day for the Rockies on Monday. And the 0-2 is swung on and chopped foul. Murphy staying alive, trying to avoid being the 6th straight strikeout against Gio Gonzalez. As the Rockies' offense is scuffling right now. The 0-2 pitch. That's going to miss inside. So the Tigers have the lowest negative EBITDA. Then the Orioles are at $90 million. Pirates and Rays are at $91 million each. Figures exclude distributions from the central office, which projects to collect $1.34 billion in media revenue. So the figures were calculated by Major League Baseball and its clubs, and the frequently skeptical union already has requested a slew of documents from MLB. There's a swing and a pop-up, and Murphy should put an end to the strikeout streak. Grandal will make the catch in fair territory, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Gio Gonzalez looking really good today. And we're scoreless. Larry Garcia will lead off here in the bottom of the 4th. He went on a home run barrage against the Rockies at Coors Field a few weeks ago. First pitch is swung on and lined right into the glove of the third baseman, Fuentes, for out number 1.
Now batting, third baseman,
Major League Baseball. We continue to talk about what is going to occur here with games with no fans. Everyone's saying there's going to be a lot of money lost here. MLB said 2019 revenues was 39% local gate and other in-park sources, 25% central revenue, 22% local media, 11% sponsorship, and 4% came from other. And teams are fearing that a second wave of the coronavirus would devastate finances if renewed government restrictions cause cancellation of the postseason, which brings in $787 million in media money. And the document details there is $370 million paid by Fox, $310 million by Turner, $27 million by ESPN, $30 million by MLB Network, and $50 million from international and other. And teams project to increase their debt from $5.2 billion last year to $7.3 billion in 2020. That's going to leave most clubs out of compliance with the labor contract's debt service rule. MLB's central office increased debt by $550 million to support clubs and is seeking $650 million more on more credit. MLB said many teams do not have the capacity to add more debt to fund losses in 2021. So now that plans have been formulated to possibly start the season in early July in disinfected stadiums with no gate revenue, at least at the start, MLB says the current economics are not feasible, and players have said they already made a deal and see no need for change. But the deal is contingent on playing in front of fans at regular season ballparks. The agreement committed both sides to discuss in good faith the economic feasibility of playing games in the absence of spectators or at appropriate neutral sites. Lead a one-out walk, I should say, here in the bottom of the fourth inning to Yoan Moncada. That'll bring up Tim Anderson. Anderson base hit his first time up, then was thrown out trying to advance to second base by Ian Desmond. 269 average, 304 OBP, 509 slugging on the year for Tim Anderson. White Sox shortstop. First pitch from Gonzalez is up and in, ball one. 34 runs batted in on the year for Anderson. That ranks second place on the White Sox. Chichi comes set. His 1-0 is inside. Runner goes. Throw down is in time. They got him. Wow, nice throw for Elias Diaz. His second thrown out base runner in as many games. And that was very close, but Yoan Moncada called out, and there will be no challenge from Rick Renteria and the White Sox. Now 2 outs, 2-0 pitch to Tim Anderson is swung on and sky towards left field. Coming in is Desmond. He will have to play it on the hop. And that'll be a 2-out base runner now for the White Sox and Tim Anderson. Batting average leaders, White Sox lead the AL in batting average, so it must be their pitching that has led to them being fourth place in the AL Central. Astros and Angels are up there as well, then Cleveland and the Yankees, Red Sox, and Twins. Eloy Jimenez struck out and reached on a wild pitch his first time up. First pitch misses inside, ball one here. Players traditionally have questioned team accounting on what counts as a baseball revenue or expense. Trevor Bauer speculated this week over whether an owner could increase prices of a parking garage near the ballpark. The owner also controls and generates money that would not be included in the club accounts. Revenue sharing started 25 years ago, and Major League Baseball repeatedly has said team accounting is monitored and follows strict rules. Revenue from regional sports networks drops in proportion to the lost games from $2.3 billion to $1.2 billion, and an average of $980,000 per game for both teams, according to the projection. Teams fear that some additional losses because the regional networks will have to give up games to Fox and ESPN to fulfill national contracts. MLB said rights holders have already reserved rights to stop payments or demand refunds if agreed to inventory is not delivered. Fly ball to shallow center field. Coming in is Dahl. He'll get there and he will squeeze it, and that'll retire the side. We're through 4 innings, still scoreless. Rockies offense, McMahon, Desmond, Diaz will be trying to figure out Gio Gonzalez in the 5th. Rockies manager Bud Black talking things over with pitching coach Steve Foster. John Gray eavesdropping on their conversation. Chichi Gonzalez has pitched well today. It's up to the Rockies bats to get things going against the other Gonzalez, Gio Gonzalez, here in the top of the 5th. Ryan McMahon got a base hit, infield single his first time up in the second inning. It's got his average up to 240 now. Grounded one into the shift, and it was too far away for Danny Mendick to throw him out in time. First pitch of the 5th inning from Gonzalez is taken for a strike. McMahon went 1 for 4 with a double in Sunday's ball game. And that's a check swing and a pitch on the outside part of the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on McMahon. So player salaries, what were they? Under the March 26 deal, they averaged $1.67 million per game for both clubs. And MLB projects overall local revenue at $1.23 million a game for both teams, and the cost at $1.87 million as McMahon flies one out to left field. Jimenez makes the catch for the first out. MLB headed into the season projecting $9.967 billion in revenue. That includes over $7.5 billion at the local level. Expenses totaled $10.234 billion, $4.366 billion for Major League player compensation, as Desmond lines one right into the glove of the first baseman Abreu for out number 2.
Next for Colorado, the catcher, Elias Diaz.
Elias Diaz will be the batter. And that is Encarnacion playing first base today. Abreu is DHing. Elias Diaz grounded out his first time up. So other expenses, you have $198 million for pensions and benefits, $537 million to sign amateurs, $4.73 billion in local expenses, and $403 million for the central office. Under the newly developed plan, MLB projects revenue at $2.87 billion, including $1.522 billion at the local level. Expenses drop to a little over $6.75 billion. There's a line drive, base hit into center field off the bat of Diaz, 2-out single for the Rockies catcher. And the line will keep moving now. Josh Fuentes will get an opportunity. $2.36 billion for Major League player compensation is what it drops to. That includes salaries, prorated shares of signing bonuses, termination of pay, and buyouts of declined options. Pension and benefits stay the same. Josh Fuentes takes first pitch, low, ball 1. Money to sign amateurs decreases to $440 million as part of the changes that cut the amateur draft from 40 rounds to 5, caps the bonuses of undrafted players at $20,000, and allows most of the money to be deferred through July of 2022. Local expenses drop to $3.46 billion and central office expenses to $360 million. MLB anticipates $1.788 billion central office revenue for an 82-game schedule with empty ballparks and a $1.345 billion net after expenses for MLB advanced media and Major League Baseball properties. And final number to give you here, revenues includes $155 million from sponsors excluding MLB Network, $112 million from consumer products, $93 million from digital such as MLB.TV and MLB at Bat, and $89 million in non-media revenue. So, those are all those numbers that we know of at this time. 3-1 pitch to Fuentes is swung on and missed. Count goes full. The 3-2. Swinging a foul out of play. Fuentes making Gonzalez work a little bit here in the 5th. And swinging a foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. 75th pitch of the day will be coming for Gio Gonzalez. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We are still scoreless. Chichi Gonzalez will try to match Gio Gonzalez one more time. Going to the bottom of the 5th. Edwin Encarnacion flied out his first time up. That was in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. 278, 388 on base percentage, and 657 slugging percentage for the first-year slugger for the White Sox. Chichi Gonzalez into his motion. First pitch is swung on and grounded into right field, a base hit. And leadoff single for Encarnacion here in the bottom of the 5th. 4 scoreless innings so far for Chichi Gonzalez, 5 for Gio Gonzalez. Chichi having to match him every pitch, as Rockies offense just cannot get things going. Rockies do have a couple more hits today than the White Sox, but of both teams, same in the run column. Jose Abreu grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1 as we got our next look at Southpaw, White Sox mascot, encouraging the crowd here at not U.S. Cellular, Guaranteed Rate Field. Not U.S. Cellular anymore. Guaranteed Rate Field to get on their feet and get excited and try to encourage the White Sox to bring home the first run of the game for either side. Abreu in 2018 won the Silver Slugger Award for first baseman. Not last year, though. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drelich have really been covering this whole extended offseason due to COVID-19 very well for The Athletic. And they came through with an exclusive story this past weekend about Major League Baseball proposing medical and safety protocols to players. There are to be no exchanges of lineup cards, new baseballs anytime a ball is put in play and touched by multiple players. Players wearing masks except while on the field. There's a ground ball base hit into right field. First two aboard, Encarnacion and Abreu here in the bottom of the fifth. Standing 6 feet apart during the singing of the national anthem and God Bless America, sitting 6 feet apart in the dugout and, if necessary, even in the stands. Those are just some of the proposed protocols in the 67-page document concerning health and safety from Major League Baseball. Nomar Mazara takes the pitch high and away, ball one. Also, regular testing for all players, managers, coaches, and umpires, plus a limited number of essential staff members who come into close proximity with players. 1-0 pitch is swung on and ripped towards deep right field. Blackman's going back on this one. He's at the track. He's looking up, and that ball is gone. 3-run home run for Nomar Mazara, his 4th of the year, and the White Sox break through first today. They lead at 3-0 here in the 5th. 377 feet, the estimated distance, 98.1 mile per hour exit velocity for the White Sox right fielder. And it was smooth sailing for the beginning of this game for Chichi Gonzalez. 3-run shot here in the 5th inning will put the White Sox on the board first, and Rockies offense is going to have to come back from a deficit now, and they have not looked very comfortable in the past, really on this whole road trip. You can say a lot of the same for the homestand as well. Joe Harvey and Tim Collins, righty and lefty, have started to throw in the Rockies bullpen. Yasmani Grandal struck out his first time up. He is the batter taking first pitch strike here now. Some other rules we'll talk to you about for testing for Major League Baseball. MLB will monitor developments in testing and attempt to use the least invasive and fastest methods commercially available without adversely impacting public health needs. Between pitches, we'll continue to talk to you about some of those new testing protocols. Grandal takes the pitch low and away, ball one. You can see Harvey, the righty, and Collins, the lefty, warming up in the Rockies bullpen. The vast majority of tests will be run on saliva collections through oral or nasal swab, though, I should say, oral or nasal swabs might be used at times. Blood samples will be taken less frequently for antibody testing. Swinging a ground ball foul by Grandal. All players must undergo intake screening upon arriving at spring training. The screening will take place at multiple locations and at staggered times. It'll consist of a temperature check with a contactless thermometer and body fluid and blood samples. Fly ball towards the corner in left field. Grandal on his way to second base, and he's going to be in there with a double and still nobody out here in the 5th inning. Second double of the year only for Yasmani Grandal. Individuals who are tested must self-quarantine at his or her spring training residence until the results of the testing are reported, likely within 24 to 48 hours, and any individual who tests positive is instructed to self-quarantine and get treated accordingly. Bud Black has seen enough from Chichi Gonzalez today. That'll be the end of his day. And we will have a reliever coming in. It's going to be Jeff Hoffman. Long reliever for the Rockies. 20th game this year, 3-0 his record, 40 innings, 5.85 ERA. 30 strikeouts and 14 walks, 314 lefties are hitting, and righties are hitting 269 against him. And something happened for Chichi Gonzalez, really strong through 4 innings, then gave up 4 straight hits now, the last 2 being extra base hits, and the White Sox on the board 3-0. Danny Mendick lined out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Jeff Hoffman trying to stop the bleeding. 380 on base percentage, 443 slugging percentage for the hot-hitting White Sox second baseman. So asymptomatic individuals will undergo temperature checks and symptom screens at least twice daily. All individuals undergoing testing multiple times per week, taking approximately 24 hours to report results. An individual with a temperature above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, other symptoms consistent with COVID-19, or in close contact with a confirmed case is subject to immediate rapid diagnostic test at a location close to the club facility. Ground ball to second base. Owings makes the play for out number 1. Advancing to third base is Grandal, so he's 90 feet away from home. Each club must maintain a dedicated testing area in its spring training site and MLB ballpark, as well as a dedicated isolation area where an individual who develops symptoms or learns of a positive result can isolate pending relocation to home or medical facility. Leary Garcia swings and fouls one out of play. 372 on the year with runners in scoring position for Leary Garcia. The 0-1 is going to miss high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Free diagnostic and antibody testing is available to individuals who live in the same household and healthcare workers or other first responders in the club's home cities as a public service. 1-1 pitch is going to miss low and away. Hitters count now on Leary Garcia. And strike on the outside part of the outside corner. Count evens at 2. Each individual will conduct daily home screenings that include a personal temperature check each morning. Clubs will provide the thermometers. Before entering a club facility, individuals will get temperature checked and complete a short symptom and exposure questionnaire. So I would say they are certainly taking all the precautions they possibly can to get back to playing. Any individual who reports COVID-19 symptoms or a temperature above 100 during a home screening will not be permitted to enter a club facility and instead must immediately self-isolate and be directed to a team physician. There's a fly ball towards right center field. Blackman camping under it, makes the catch. Grandal tagging, and he will score. And it's 4-0 White Sox. RBI sac fly for Leary Garcia. Yohan Moncada will be the batter. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Walked in the 4th inning. I guess the only concern here would be asymptomatic individuals, and that's who could potentially spread it here. Each club must develop procedures for isolating, transporting, testing, and treating individuals who display potential symptoms. Yohan Moncada takes a pitch low, ball 1. The 1-0 is on the outside corner for a called strike. And swing and a miss for strike 2. Here are the steps that clubs must take to minimize potential transmission. There are 4 of them. 1 is identify all players and other employees who have had close contact and closely monitor them. 2, team physician may determine some or all of those who should get tested. 3, immediate cleansing and disinfecting of all club-controlled areas. And 4, reinforce the importance of hygiene. Pitch misses outside, count evens at 2. And swung on and lifted in the gap towards right center field. On the run for this one is Blackman. He's going to have to play it on a hop. And trying to move up towards second base is Moncada. The throw, and got him. Nice throw by Charlie Blackman. Second time the White Sox have run into outs on the base paths today. We're through 5 innings after a 3-run home run by Nomar Mazar, then a sac fly for Leary Garcia to score Yasmani Grandal. It's 4-0 White Sox. Top of the order for the Rockies. David Dahl struck out twice today. He's 0 for 2. Gio Gonzalez back out for a 6th inning of work at 75 pitches. Dahl hitting .267 on the year, .325 on base percentage, and a .770 OPS. First pitch from Gio Gonzalez is taken for a strike here in the 6th. Dahl on a fairly decent stretch right now, 11 for his last 36 at the plate. That's a .306 average over his last 9 games. The 0-1 is on the outside part of the outside corner. Dahl not sure he agrees. It's quickly 0-2. So more from Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich. Individuals who test positive must self-isolate with daily communication and remote care from the club medical staff, including follow-up testing. Swinging a ground ball weakly back to the mound. Gonzalez throws to first for an easy out, number 1. The club, in coordination with local health officials, must conduct contact tracing, clean and disinfect locations where the individual was, and confidentially notify public health authorities. Additional precautions and accommodations will be taken for individuals identified by the club as high risk. Trevor Story, the batter, 0 for 2, strikeout and a pop-out. Sorry, this is Chris Owings, used to Trevor Story batting second. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. As for spring training, there's a limit on 50 players per club. For clubs that conduct spring training at major league parks, workouts should be staggered throughout the day to avoid overcrowding. When feasible, clubs should consider the use of another facility as Owings reaches on an infield single high chopper, such as a nearby college or minor league stadium to conduct workouts or games on a split squad basis. So Owings chops one right at the plate, and by the time Anderson's able to make the grab, Owings is safe at first base. So a one-out base runner for the Rockies trying to answer back. Charlie Blackmon 1 for 2 with a double back in the first inning. 301 on the year, 371 on base percentage, 937 OPS for the Rockies right fielder. This pitch misses low. Reporting dates will be staggered. The camp will be divided into 3 phases. First, the individual and small group workouts consisting exclusively of pitchers and catchers, divided into groups of 5 players or fewer and assigned different times and areas of the complex. Fly ball to deep right field. Going back on this one is Mazzari. He's looking up, and that ball is gone. 2-run home run for Charlie Blackmon, his 10th of the season. And the Rockies are a little bit closer now. It is a 4-2 ball game. .358 feet off the bat, 93.1 mile per hour exit velocity for Charlie Blackmon. It is a bit of a hitter's park. At least it has been here at not US Cellular. Keep wanting to say the old name, Guaranteed Rate Field. So Charlie Blackmon homering, and Trevor Story now will be the batter. 4-2 White Sox. Jimmy Cordero, the righty, and Jace Fry, the lefty, warming up in the White Sox bullpen. Trevor Story 1 for 2, base hit in the first inning. His first pitch down and in ball 1. Also looking at larger groups permitted for workouts and intra-squad games, still staggered times throughout the day, and a limited number of games. That's how spring training will go. Fly ball towards left center field, not deep. On the run is Jimenez. He'll make the catch for out number 2. To address heat concerns, spring training games in Florida and Arizona would begin between 7 and 9 p.m. local time. So we could potentially have some 11 p.m. Eastern time games beginning out in Arizona. Daniel Murphy 0 for 2 on the day. Gio Gonzalez's first pitch here is on the outside, part of the outside corner for a called strike. He keeps getting that call. Now it is Alex Colomé and Aaron Bummer, righty and lefty, warming up in the White Sox bullpen. Fry has sat down. The 0-1 is going to miss low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Also for spring training, 4-person umpiring crews will be used with the possibility of adding a 5th and using multiple plate umps when temperatures reach certain levels. So that's about the heat concerns. Swinging a line drive towards left field. Going back on this one is Jimenez. He is going to get there and make the catch running onto the track, and that'll retire the side. Charlie Blackmon gets the Rockies a little bit closer. His 2-run shot, and it's 4-2 White Sox going to the bottom of the 6th.
Your attention, please.
Joe Harvey, new pitcher for the Rockies here in the bottom of the 6th. Third game, 2 1/3 innings pitched, has a strikeout, no walks. Lefties hitting 500, righties hitting 400. Very small sample, though. Tim Anderson 2 for 2, a couple base hits today. James Pazos and Tim Collins, both warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies right now. Harvey into his motion windup, and his first pitch is in there for a strike. See Pazos and Collins in the Rockies bullpen. So here are the facility protocols according to Rosenthal and Drellich. Facilities will be restricted to limited groups of essential personnel, players and on-field personnel, other essential personnel who need close proximity to on-field personnel. This group includes clubhouse staff, ownership representatives, front office employees, public relations staff, and translators. Also individuals who perform essential event services but do not require close contact with players and other on-field personnel. This group includes cleaning service providers, broadcast personnel, groundskeepers, transportation providers up to 150 at any given time, as there's a strikeout. Second strikeout of the year for Joe Harvey. And law enforcement, EMTs, and ambulance drivers and government officials. Eloy Jimenez 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch from Harvey is in there for a strike. Jimenez on a stretch where he's hit 400 over his last 3 games, 6 for his last 15 at the plate right now. Minimum standards will be maintained for cleaning and disinfecting. Processes will be in place for safely distributing meals, dietary supplements, and medicine. The 0-1 is swung on and missed quickly. 0-2 on Jimenez. And communal water and sports drink coolers and jugs are prohibited. Only personal water or individually prepared sports drink bottles or contactless water dispensers with disposable cups should be used. So we won't get to see Omar Sanchez dumping the communal Gatorade on himself. Swing and a miss. He had him on strikes. Harvey strikes out the first two batters he faces here in the bottom of the sixth. Good slider that gets Jimenez. There will be no spitting, using smokeless tobacco and sunflower seeds in restricted areas. Any physical interactions such as high fives, fist bumps, and hugs must be avoided at club facilities. No hugs, wow. Edwin Encarnacion, 1 for 2, singled and scored earlier. Harvey's first pitch is swung on and missed. Harvey looking good to start this game off. There will be increased availability of hand washing and hand sanitizing stations, preferably with contactless dispensers. Players and other on-field personnel should wash or sanitize their hands after each half inning or the handling of equipment. Where possible, clubs will make efforts to reduce the density of individuals, discourage gatherings, and promote physical distancing, and individuals should spend as little time indoors as possible. Pitch down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 is just a bit outside. Hitters count now on Edwin Encarnacion. Swung on and pulled foul. Unfortunately, we're not able to simulate a social distancing MLB The Show game for you. That'd be fun to experience. 2-2 pitch from Harvey. Swung on and grounded towards third. Picked by Fuentes. Throws to first, and that will retire the side. Good inning for Joe Harvey. Rockies' offense coming to life with that home run by Charlie Blackmon an inning ago. We'll see what they can do in the seventh. McMahon, Desmond Diaz do up 4-2 White Sox.
Your attention, please.
Jimmy Cordero will pitch the seventh inning, 26th game of the year, 5.11 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 16 walks. Righties have hit him better than lefties. 24 and 2/3 innings pitched for him. Rockies will send Ryan McMahon to the plate. 1 for 2 base hit, infield single in the second inning. 548 slugging on the year to go along with a 238 average and 316 on base percentage for Ryan McMahon. Some more rules for facilities from Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich of The Athletic. We'll pick it up after this first pitch to McMahon. And it's swung on and skied towards left field. Going back on this one is Jimenez. It's over his head, and it'll be off the wall. McMahon will cruise into second base with a leadoff double here in the seventh. Tying run will come to the plate for the Rockies now, as they try to answer back. 12th double of the year for Ryan McMahon. So more on the facility rules. Meetings will take place virtually when possible. If they take place in person, they should preferably be outdoors with participants sitting apart from each other and wearing face coverings when possible. Ian Desmond 0 for 2 strikeout in a lineout today. Swings and lines, went into right field, a base hit. McMahon had to hold up, and he will be held at third base. Runners on the corners, nobody out now for the Rockies here in the seventh. Elias Diaz will be the next batter.
Number 35, Elias.
Some more facility rules. Lockers should be 6 feet apart. If not possible, clubs should erect temporary clubhouse or locker facilities in unused stadium space, preferably outdoors or in areas with increased ventilation. Elias Diaz 1 for 2, got a base hit in the fifth inning. 295 average for him now on the year. Has 1 home run on the season. It was a 3-run shot, and that would be pretty big right now. Showering will be discouraged at club facilities as part of the social distancing rules for reopening. Elias Diaz, first pitch is in there for a called strike. The use of indoor batting cages is discouraged when hitting outdoors is an option. Hitters are encouraged to use batting gloves, and batting practice pitchers are encouraged to wear masks. The 0-1 is low and away, ball 1. That's low. Hitters count now on Elias Diaz. Pitchers will use a personal set of baseballs during bullpen sessions and separate balls to demonstrate pitching grips or mechanics. The 2-1 to Diaz is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Only necessary players will be in dugouts. Inactive players may sit in auxiliary sitting areas, including adjacent in-stadium seating to maximize physical distancing. That'll be fun. A lot of the minor leaguers are going to get to watch some big league games. There's a swing and a line drive pulled foul. Dugout phones will be disinfected after each use. I sure hope so. 2-2 pitch to Diaz is inside. Full count now. Josh Fuentes waiting on deck. Looking for his first hit in the big leagues in 2020. Payoff pitch to Diaz. Swung on and fouled back. Group dining is discouraged. Buffet and communal food spreads are prohibited. Meals must be distributed in individually packaged containers or bags in takeout form. The swing and a ground ball hit towards second base. 4-3 double play. A run will score. That's McMahon. Desmond is tagged out, and then the throw will get Diaz for a double play. It's 4-3 now, and 2 outs. And a final thing about facilities, uses of saunas, steam rooms, hydrotherapy pools, and cryotherapy chambers are prohibited. As for on-field operations, changes to the rules for 2020 are pending. Josh Fuentes has struck out twice today. He's 0 for 4 on the season so far. Rockies had opportunity for more, certainly. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Fuentes swings and skies one towards left center field. A long run for this one, but getting there to make the catch is Garcia, and that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch time, we'll hear Corey Schembri serenade us with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Then Abreu, Mazara, Grandal due up in the bottom of the 7th.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher for the Rockies will be Carlos Estevez, 28th game of the year, 33 strikeouts and 6 walks in 25 innings. That's very good. 4.32 ERA. His numbers, that average against righties was well over 400 for a very decent amount of time, and he's really been bringing those numbers back down. Jose Abreu leads things off, 1 for 2 single and a run scored. I want to continue talking to you about the rundown on everything Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich have reported about the plan for when baseball resumes. Start that after this first pitch to Jose Abreu, and it swung on and missed.
0-1.
4-3 White Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-1 is swung on and grounded towards short. Story up the ball. As time throws to first, that's out number 1. Other on-field operations rules, rather than an exchange of lineup cards, lineups will be put into an application. When the ball is out of play or in between pitches, fielders are encouraged to retreat several steps away from the base runner, and catchers are permitted to step on the grass toward the mound to give signs if he needs to stand to relay signs to infielders. Non-player personnel must wear masks at all times in the dugout, and spitting is prohibited once again. As for travel rules, teams should control their environments as much as possible. Use of public transportation and individual private transportation, rideshare services like Lyft and Uber, is discouraged. Nomar Mazara takes first pitch down and in, ball 1. Whenever possible, teams are to fly into smaller airports. The league's desire for airlines to assign fixed airline crews rather than rotate crews in and out. The 1-0 to Mazzara is taken high and away, ball 2. 100-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Carlos Estevez. The 2-0 is swung on and missed. While players will not be officially quarantined, members of the traveling party are not to leave the hotel unless they receive advance approval from team personnel. The only people permitted to visit players' rooms are immediate family members. Socializing with other family members or friends is discouraged but not highly prohibited. Not entirely prohibited. Hitter scout now on Nomar Mazzara. The 2-1 pitch from Estevez is swung on and lined foul. On the road, players should essentially isolate at hotels with precautions such as prohibition on buffet-style meals in place. Luggage will be sent directly to players' rooms to avoid extra touch points, and players will not need to return a key or visit the front desk upon checkout. Meal money should be delivered to players in a form other than cash. At teams' home cities and in spring training cities, players can stay at their desired locations as long as they follow best practices such as avoiding public areas. Payoff pitch to Mazzara is swung on and chopped foul. So Major League Baseball plans to develop a COVID-19 education program that all team employees will need to complete before returning to work. Players and umpires are to go through the program as well. There's a ground ball hit towards the shift. Owings up at the ball, throws to first. That's out number 2. If you have a subscription to The Athletic, you should take a look at the images they have on the Major League Baseball has sent out about the 6 feet distancing. They have all the dugouts and the stands all marked with, they have no standing in stairwell on here, no sitting. Also says no siente for those who speak Spanish. They have a place where the first base and third base coaches should sit, place where 1 or 2 of the reserves, the backup catcher will sit here. It's really interesting. There's a swing and a line drive, deep right field, way back and gone off the bat of Yasmani Grandal. And it's 5-3 White Sox. 11th home run of the year for Grandal. .2 mile-per-hour exit velocity, 387 feet off the bat of Grandal. And Danny Mendick will be the batter. 0 for 2 line out and a ground out. Rockies have handled him well today. First pitch from Estevez is taken for a strike. Slider there. Well, these graphics from Major League Baseball are really interesting, looking at the dugouts. They also have a picture of the stands with 4 seats between, 2-row distance between. A lot of guys yelling, I suppose. There's a pitch low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. At the dugout railing, players, coaches, and Tier 1 staff shall utilize a personal towel when leaning on the railing. Ground ball foul. They have a graphic for team stretch as well. They're going to utilize cones to measure 6 feet distances. Pitch low and away, count evens at 2. That one's going to miss outside, full count. Coming up in the 8th inning, we'll talk about an article from Luke Mullins at Rocks Pile about, we already talked about some ways the designated hitter could benefit the Rockies because the DH is coming to both leagues at least for this shortened season. But how could that also give the young bats an opportunity? We'll talk about that. Swung on and popped up, third base side, foul territory. Fuentes coming in hard. He will get there and he will squeeze it, and that'll retire the side. We go to the 8th, 5-3 White Sox extend their lead. Yasmani Grandal, it's his 11th home run of the season.
Your attention, please.
Aaron Bummer, new pitcher for the White Sox, 12 and a third innings pitched, 5.11 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. Lefty's hitting .400 against him, so odd reverse splits for him to start this year. This is his 16th game. He's blown a couple saves. 8th inning here, David Dahls, 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Steve Cishek warming up in the White Sox bullpen. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Dahl from Bummer is taken low and away, ball 1. There's Cishek warming up in the bullpen. So one of the considered rule changes for return to play in 2020 is what has been very popular among players, and that is the adopting of a universal DH for the shortened season. Luke Mullins of Roxpile talked about how that could potentially give an opportunity to younger players on the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon, Daniel Murphy are a couple of players who would be largely considered for the designated hitter position. That could give Raimel Tapia a chance to play every day. Mullins writes, though we certainly saw what happened in our simulation. Tapia did not, what's the word I'm looking for? He did not produce, I guess. Sam Hilliard could also get a chance to play some more. Garrett Hampson could play more as well. Daniel Murphy, if he were to DH, that could give Brendan Rodgers an opportunity pretty early on. Ryan McMahon going over to first base. Though my guess would be the Rockies, much like we did in our simulation, are having Rodgers start the season in AAA. I looked at the AAA stats a little bit recently. The last I saw, Rodgers was hitting .265 with 4 home runs. Not terrible, but certainly not call-up worthy yet. There's a fair ball towards the left field corner off the bat of David Dahl. They keep shifting him, and he keeps hitting them that way. He takes a wide turn around second base, but he's going to be content with a leadoff double. His 23rd double of the year here in the 8th. Chris Owings will be the batter. (5-3) White Sox. Tying run now at the plate. Owings 1 for 3 singled and scored earlier. 277 on the year, a 382 on base percentage, 404 slugging. Owings has certainly been playing well.
That's a ball.
375 on the year with runners in scoring position for Chris Owings. And swinging a ground ball, chopped foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Passan, we already told you about all those rules that are expected from Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich. Passan breaks down what a day in the life of a baseball player might look like. Swinging a miss for strike 2 by Owings. And swinging a miss, he got him on strikes. That's out number 1. And Charlie Blackmon will be the batter. So here's what a day in the life of a baseball player could look like. Wake up, grab the thermometer issued to every player in Major League Baseball, take your temperature. Just make sure to do it before eating, drinking, or exercising. Then take it again. If it's over 100 degrees, self-isolate, call the team physician, get ready to take a rapid response COVID-19 test. If not, go to the stadium. If you're on the road, it can be on any of the 6 bus trips to the ballpark instead of the typical early or late options. Don't forget to open the windows. If you're at home, go to the entrance that can be used only by 101 specifically designated people. Blackmon swings and skies one towards left. Not even having to move his Jimenez makes the catch for out number 2. Rockies trying not to waste that leadoff double by Dahl. Trevor Story will be the batter. Next, put on a mask. Walk into the stadium, maybe even be in uniform already. Get your temperature taken again. If it's still below 100, you're allowed in the restricted areas, the field, the training room, the weight room, the clubhouse, or perhaps the auxiliary clubhouse, because social distancing is important, and 6 feet will separate lockers, and locker rooms just aren't big enough to handle that many people and that much space between them, so teams need to build another. There's more. We'll talk to you about it after this 1-0 pitch to Trevor Story, 1 for 3 on the day. And it's swung on and grounded weakly up the middle. Shortstop Anderson throws to first and got him. Nice 360 spin and throw by Anderson. Top of the order do it for the White Sox in the bottom of the 8th.
Ladies and gentlemen,
New pitcher for the Rockies is James Pazos, 27th game of the year, 29 and a third innings pitched, 28 strikeouts, 11 walks, 4.30 is ERA. Lefty's hitting 300, righty's hitting 243. Reverse splits for Pazos on the year. First batter he will face is Larry Garcia as the lineup turns around. 0 for 2, sacrifice fly RBI today for Garcia. So let's say you're a baseball player and it might be your day for a coronavirus test, because Jeff Passan wrote an article walking us through a day in the life of a 2020 Major League Baseball player. There's going to be a few weeks, so as Passan writes, get that saliva ready. Also could be the monthly blood test for coronavirus antibodies, since you can't use hot tubs, cold tubs, saunas, steam rooms, or cryotherapy. There's no excuse not to get to the 4:30 hitters meeting on time. Just check whether it's on the iPad or outside. Indoor in-person meetings don't exist anymore. At least you can take off the mask on the field. You'll be out there plenty. It may look odd. No water or sports drink jugs in the dugout. No sunflower seeds or dip. You can't spit, high five, hug. Game time. No lineup card exchange. They were sent via app. The manager is standing along the railing. He's not allowed to be on the steps. Other coaches are spread out 6 feet from one another. The rest of the bench is sparsely populated. Only players likely to enter the game can be in the dugout. The rest are in the stands. The closest you can sit to anyone is with 4 empty seats between you and 2 empty rows behind you. Pazos' 2-2 pitch to Garcia is just a bit outside full count. Waiting on deck is Yoan Moncada. When the pitcher needs some grip, better not lick his fingers. He has a personal rosin bag for that. The hitter who needs some tack has his own pine tar rag too. When a hitter whacks a single to left field and gets on first base, he should skip the small talk. Socializing and fraternizing are forbidden before, during, and after the game. Same with fighting, so don't be too nice to opponents, but don't be too mean either. Oh, and as for that ball that went into left, there's a line drive towards left center field. Over to cut it off is Dahl. It's going to be a leadoff single for Garcia here in the bottom of the 8th. That ball that goes into left field in the new era of Major League Baseball. See a 6-game hitting streak for Yoan Moncada. Get rid of it. If it's in play and touched by multiple players, it's no longer good because cleanliness is paramount. If you're playing, you're supposed to wash your hands or sanitize them every half inning. If the bullpen phone gets used, disinfect it. If the dugout phone rings, disinfect it. The game ends. There's no buffet, so the clubhouse attendant grabs you a pre-packaged meal. Don't bother with a cash tip. They take Venmo and PayPal. If you want to eat with teammates, social distancing rules still apply. You could wait until you get back to the hotel and hit the private dining area or order room service. Don't even think of going out for dinner. You're not allowed to leave the hotel without approval, period, so go back to your room, which looks the same as it did when you left. Housekeeping isn't allowed to enter, and you call it a day. So there you go. Runner goes, pitch low, and the throw down by Diaz. Got him. Second thrown out base runner of the day for Diaz. It's the 4th out the White Sox have run into on the base paths today. 2 caught stealings and 2 times trying to advance to second on base hits. Still, they have a 5-3 lead. 1-1 the count on Yoan Moncada. And swing and a miss for strike 2.
Count 1 and 2.
See Tim Collins and Jake McGee, both lefties warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Pazos the lefty on the hill. The 1-2. Swung on and popped up. Shortstop Story going out to the outfield grass. Puts it away for out number 2. According to Passan, there was one decree that fired up a number of players. That was the no showering rule. Showering in club facilities should be discouraged, so that certainly could be softened as the MLBPA and team executives begin to give feedback to the league in the coming days. Not sure where that missed. 2-0 the count now on Tim Anderson. 2 for 3 today was one of the runners thrown out trying to advance in the first inning, trying to advance to second on a base hit. Strike on the inside corner now. One's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Eloy Jimenez waiting on deck. So what happens if a player tests positive on the road? The protocol leaves it up to teams and their emergency action plans. But as one GM told Passan Saturday, do I put him on a plane? Do I drive to get him myself? I'd rather have a detailed answer for that question than some of the things that we've been focused on. Or can teams really overhaul their stadiums by adding extra rooms for overflow personnel within weeks? And the protocol grants high-risk individuals the option to not play or work this season. So what about the non-high-risk personnel? Do their exclusion in the document mean the league would consider them obligated to play? There's a base hit into center field. Or at least to play if they want to get paid. Plus, just because some personnel deemed Tier 3, that's cleaning crews and groundskeepers, don't come into contact with players, does that preclude them from undergoing testing similar to Tiers 1 and 2? Because as the protocol stands, they would not undergo the same level of testing. New pitcher for the Rockies is going to be Jake McGee, 26th game this year, 6.55 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 12 walks. Righty's hitting .281, lefty's hitting .310, 1-1 is his record. He's 0-2 on the year, struggling as of late. Jimenez takes first pitch strike. 0 for 3 strikeout in the 6th inning. Last time Jimenez is up at the plate. McGee looks towards first base, where Anderson is. Third hit of the day. Anderson runs. The throw down is not going to be in time this time. Anderson will steal his 5th base of the year. McGee looks over at second, delivers a 1-1, and it's swung on and lined right into the glove of the third baseman Fuentes. Place it on a hop, throws to first, and that'll retire the side. We're through 8 innings. Rockies need a couple runs to tie this ball game. They have Murphy, McMahon, and Desmond due up 5-3 White Sox going to the 9th. Steve Cishek will try to close things out. He's been very good this year. He does have one blown save, but 9 2/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 0.93 ERA. Righties are hitting .333 against him. Lefties only 154. Daniel Murphy 0 for 3, flied out his last time up. That was in the 6th inning. He will lead things off against the side-arming Steve Cishek. Former Chicago Cub, Steve Cishek, now has crossed to the other side of town. Murphy has struggled in his career against Cishek, 3 for 15 with 7 strikeouts. And the 0-1 is swung on and shot foul. Quickly 0-2 on Murphy. Getting the sign he likes is Cishek. Windup and the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and skied towards left field. Going back on this one is Jimenez. He will get there to make the catch in front of the track. Murphy gave it a ride, but that's allowed out number 1. Ryan McMahon, the designated hitter today, will come to the plate as the defense readjusts itself. 2 for 3 double, single run scored. Good day for Ryan McMahon today, slugging .556. 243 average, 319 OBP for him, as the numbers have gone up a little bit today with those 2 hits, one of which is an extra base hit, the double. First pitch from Cishek is inside, ball 1. Rockies play the White Sox one more time in a brief 2-game set tomorrow, then a day off Thursday before they return home to face the Phillies. In a weekend series, we will broadcast the game for you Friday. That's our next game. Unless the Rockies come back and win here, then we will also broadcast for you tomorrow's game. Right now they're trailing 5-3. 1-1 pitch to McMahon is swung on and fouled at the plate. Cishek into his motion, 1-2. Is swung on and ripped towards left field. Going back on this one is Jimenez, and he will not be able to make the catch. That one's up against the wall. Cruising into second base on this one is McMahon, and takes a wide turn, but he will hold up there as Jimenez had some trouble picking it up out there. Tying run will come to the plate. Ryan McMahon with his second double and 3rd hit of the day keeps things going for the Rockies with 1 out. And Nolan Arenado is going to pinch hit.
Number 28, Nolan Arenado.
Ian Desmond due up in this spot. Don't think we'll see Arenado play left field. 305, 12 home runs, 33 runs batted in, 967 OPS on the year for Arenado, getting his first day off of the year today, but not the whole game. He comes in here with a runner in scoring position. McMahon in the ninth. 1-0 pitch is swung on and foul back. Arenado batting .340 with runners in scoring position this season. 305 overall. Has been scuffling a little bit as of late, but still probably nobody else we'd rather have in this position right now. 1-1 pitch is swung on and grounded foul. Cishek comes set. Pretty uncomfortable plate appearance for a right-hander. And that one's low, count evens at 2. Not the highest of velocity, right around 90 into the low 90s at times for Steve Cishek. And Arenado batting, pinch hitting, represents the potential tying run at the plate. 2-2 pitch is going to miss low and away. The count goes full. Elias Diaz is waiting on deck. And the 3-2 swung on and pulled foul. Arenado staying alive. The 3-2. Low ball 4. He walked him. Really good plate appearance for Nolan Arenado, pinch hitting. A couple runners aboard now for Elias Diaz. The potential go-ahead run coming to the plate. The tying run in Nolan Arenado is now on base at first. Steve Cishek does have one blown save this year. Elias Diaz 1 for 3, base hit in the 5th inning. Also has grounded into a double play. We'll certainly take the former rather than the latter right now. First pitch from Cishek is in there for a called strike. 2:14 on the year with runners in scoring position. Small sample, though, for Elias Diaz. It's much better against lefties. 0-1 pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. Quickly 0-2 on Diaz. That one's going to miss low, ball 1. And swung on and shot foul at the plate. Will do it again. 18 pitches now for Cishek here in the 9th inning, trying to pick up his 6th save of the year in 7 opportunities. The 1-2 is swung on and lined fair down the right field line towards the corner. McMahon will score. Arenado up to third base. He will stop there. We've got a 1-run ball game. Double, RBI double for Elias Diaz, his 3rd double of the season. And it's 5-4 White Sox. Tying run on third base with 1 out, 90 feet away. Go-ahead run on second base. Next pitch will be the 20th of this inning for Steve Cishek. Josh Fuentes, the batter, 0 for 3. Flied out his last time up in the 7th inning, 0 for 5 to start his season. This is his first start of the year. And he could come through with a big hit right here. Doesn't necessarily have to get a hit to tie up this ball game. Cishek comes set. His first pitch to Fuentes is inside corner strike. The 0-1 is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Slider misses. And very uncomfortable at bats it must be for right-handers against the side-arming right-hander, though Diaz and Arenado were certainly comfortable. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 15 of 22 pitches for strikes this inning from Steve Cishek, the White Sox closer. The 1-2 is going to miss outside, count evens at 2. David Dahl is waiting on deck. He would be next. and swung on and grounded towards first base. Encarnacion throws to first. That'll get the run home. And this game is tied at 5. RBI ground out for Josh Fuentes. And his cousin Nolan Arenado scores to tie this ball game at 5. Elias Diaz advances to third base. We're going to have a pitching change. Jace Fry will come in. There's a blown save for Steve Cishak. It could be a loss because that runner on third is still his responsibility. 2 outs now for David Dahl. Jace Fry, 15 in the third innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, 11 walks, a 2.35 ERA. David Dahl, 1 for 4, doubled back in the 8th inning. Rockies come back and score a couple runs, tie this game up here in the 9th. Jace Fry, the lefty, against David Dahl, the lefty. First pitch is swung on and missed. Calvin Herrera warming up in the bullpen for the White Sox. Former Royals reliever. Swing and a miss quickly, 0-2 on Dahl. Rockies have at least tied this game here at 5 in the 9th. That one's going to miss down and in, ball 1. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Rockies tie the game at 5 in the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. So the Rockies send out to the mound.
Your attention, please.
Garrett Hampson's going to take over in left field.
Now playing left field. Number 1.
So Nolan Arenado has been used. He pinch hit for Ian Desmond. Now Hampson will take over in left. Jake McGee out for a second inning of work. Edwin Encarnacion, the first batter he will face. Game tied at 5 in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch is called a ball. Encarnacion 1 for 8. 125 average with 2 strikeouts in his career against Jake McGee. McGee into his motion windup, and the 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Tim Collins, the lefty. Tyler Collins, the righty, warming up in the bullpen. Kinley hoping to get a save opportunity in the 10th. Have to get to the 10th first. And Jake McGee will be tasked with getting at least a couple outs here. 1-1 pitch is high. Hitter's count now on Edwin Encarnacion. Swung on and pulled foul down the third base line. Sam Hilliard and Tony Wolters still on the bench for the Rockies now. 2-2 pitch is going to miss down and in, full count. Jose Abreu waiting on deck. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4. He walked him. Winning run is on base. Jose Abreu, the batter, 1 for 3 on the day. Singled and scored earlier. 299 on the year, 10 home runs, 25 runs batted in for the, looks like, lifetime White Sox. He likes it here. McGee will pitch from the set position for the first time today. His first pitch to Abreu is swung on and fouled away. The 0-1 is swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow center field. Coming in on this one is Dahl. He'll get there and make the catch for out number 1. Encarnacion will have to stay put at first base. And Nomar Mazara, who broke open the scoring with a 3-run home run back in the 5th inning, as part of his 1 for 3 day, will bat. Lefty on lefty matchup for McGee. Does have reverse splits on the year, though. Looks towards first base. His first pitch to Mazara is in there for a called strike. McGee comes set. The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Outside hitters count now on Nomar Mazara. And low, 3 balls and a strike. Yasmani Grandal also has a home run today. He's waiting on deck. The 3-1 is swung on in sky towards shallow center once more. Dahl coming in. He's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, catcher,
Yasmani Grandal, good day today. 2 for 3 home run double. 11th home run of the year. 28 RBI now for him. Homer extended the lead to 5-3 White Sox at the time. Rockies scoring a couple in the top of the 9th. First pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. 2 for 8 with a home run in Grandal's career against McGee, the switch hitting catcher. A 1 pitch is in there. 0-2 now on Grandal. McGee trying to send this game to extras. Rockies are 4-0 in extra innings this year. The 0-2 swung on and lifted in the air towards center field. Going back on this one is Dahl. He will get there in front of the track and he will put it away, and that'll retire the side. We're through regulation. It's time to go to the 10th. Rockies have Owings, Blackman, and Story due up in a 5-5 ball game. Chris Owings leads off the top of the 10th inning. Jace Fry out for another inning of work. First pitch is taken low, ball 1. Owings 1 for 4 on the day. One-0 pitch from Fry is taken low, 2-0. Swung on and broken bat, ground ball to short. Anderson up with the ball, throws to first. That's out number 1. Check some scores around baseball. 4-1 Nationals beat the Mariners in interleague action. Daniel Vogelbach homered. Strasburg, that was the only run he allowed. Struck out 9 in 8 innings. Brewers beat the Yankees 4-3. More interleague action. I guess everybody's playing in interleague today. Alex Claudio the win. Chad Green the loss. Blackman takes a pitch outside. He's 2 for 4 today. Christian Yelich hit his 14th home run of the year for the Brewers. Swinging a ground ball, hit back up the middle. Over there to make the catch and shifted that way was Anderson. That's out number 2. Tigers beat the Giants 10-6 despite a Wilmer Flores home run. Trevor Story will be the batter for the Rockies. Padres beat the Marlins 7-2. Padres first place in the NL West. Joey Lucchesi getting the win. Yamamoto getting the loss for the Marlins, one of the pitchers we didn't see. Eric Hosmer hit 2 home runs in that ball game. Story swings as a high fly ball towards left field. This one's deep towards the corner, and that ball is hooking, and that ball is gone. Home run for Trevor Story. And the Rockies take a 6-5 lead here in the 10th. 12th home run of the year for Story. This is not the first time he has hit an extra inning home run this year. Also did it against the Diamondbacks in the 11th inning of that game. 358 feet, 103.2 mile per hour exit velocity. Rockies take a 6-5 lead here in the 10th. Story also had a big go-ahead 2-run home run in the 9th inning of the game on Sunday. Daniel Murphy, the batter now. He'll try to extend the lead. Get a little bit more breathing room. 0 for 4 fly out in the ninth inning his last time up. Takes first pitch strike. 271 the average has dropped to with an 0 for 4 day for Murphy. The 0-1 from Fry is going to miss high and away. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's in there for a called strike. 1-2 now. Curveball that time. And swinging a foul out of play. Murphy just getting a piece to stay alive. The 1-2. Swung on and lines. On a hop to the shortstop, Anderson shifted that way, throws, and that will retire the side. Rockies take a 6-5 lead here in the 10th on a home run for Trevor Story. It'll be Mendick, Garcia, Moncada. Tyler Kinley will try to pick up the save in the bottom of the 10th.
Your attention, please.
Tyler Kinley, 18th game this year. Had a bit of a rough outing on Sunday. Gave up a run to make it a one-run ball game, but still was able to come away with the save. His 5th and 5 opportunities. 2.04 ERA, 17 2/3 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's going to face the 9-1-2 hitters for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 10th. 6-5 Rockies after the solo home run by Trevor Story gives them the lead. 0 for 3 on the day for Mendick. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Kinley converting all of his save opportunities to start the year. 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Third full-time closer Rockies have used this year. Wade Davis out of there and now in a setup role due to performance issues. Pitch inside. And Scott Oberg still on the injured list. We're expecting to see him back and probably not for a couple months still. Tyler Kinley has filled in admirably in the interim, though, at least converting every save opportunity that has come his way. 2-1 pitch to Mendick is going to miss low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Larry Garcia, he has haunted the Rockies ever since that series at Coors Field. He's waiting on deck. 3-1 pitch coming to Mendick. Is inside, ball 4. He walked him, tying run on base, winning run coming to the plate now in Larry Garcia.
The center fielder, number 28, Larry Garcia.
1 for 3, RBI single earlier in this one for Garcia. 329, 9 homers on the year. White Sox center fielder. Kinley comes set. His first pitch showing bunt. The bunt is down in front of the mound. Kinley fires to second and throws it into center field. Luckily, Mendick was sliding in there, and he's going to have to stop. He won't be able to advance a base. But that was an easy out at first base for Kinley. There'll be an error on the pitcher. Runners on first and second. Nobody out now for Yohan Moncada. 1 for 3. Base hit in the 5th inning. Fortunately, no runners were able to advance on that one past first and second. First pitch is a strike. Tying run now in scoring position. Winning run on base for the White Sox. 6-5 Rockies after Story's solo home run in the top of the 10th. Kinley will have to get out of trouble here in the bottom of the 10th. The 0-1 is just a bit outside with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Count levels at 1. One pitch. Outside hitters count now on Yohan Moncada. And swinging a foul out of play, count evens at 2. Kinley has not blown a save this year in 5 opportunities. The 2-2. Swung on and skied towards center field, very shallow. Dahl coming in, he will get there. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Big first out for Tyler Kinley. Probably should have been the second. Tim Anderson has had a good day today. 3 for 4, 3 base hits. Batting .274 in the year, 12 homers, 34 runs batted in. Double play ball would be very good right now. First pitch to Anderson is taken just a bit off the plate. Anderson not easy to double up. He runs well. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 4 strike 2. Slider, Anderson chases. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him on strikes, and that is out number 2. Kinley needs 1 more out to escape trouble after allowing the first 2 base runners to reach. Eloy Jimenez will be up for the White Sox. 6-5 Rockies. Jimenez 0 for 4 on the day. Huge strikeout of Anderson. First pitch is swung on and fouled back. Ground out his last time up for Jimenez. That was in the 8th inning. 257, 333 on base percentage in 2020 for him. Kinley comes set, holds that glove high above his head, looks towards second base. Glove comes back down. 0-1 pitch is inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Kinley needs 1 more strike. The 1-2. Swung on and grounded. Back to Kinley. Throws to first, and that is the ball game. Rockies win it in 10 innings. Solo home run from Trevor Story in the top of the 10th. Tyler Kinley evades trouble and picks up his 6th save of the year in the bottom of the 10th. And the Rockies have a chance to split the road trip with a win against the White Sox on Tuesday afternoon tomorrow. We will broadcast that game for you. It's going to be a 12:15 Mountain Time start, 1:15 local time. Big win for the Rockies here today. 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. And the White Sox 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Jake McGee gets the win, his first win of the year, 1-2 his record. Fry gets the loss. And Tyler Kinley picks up his 6th save. Player of the game is going to be Charlie Blackmon. He went 2 for 5 with a home run and a double. He had a 2-run shot in the 6th inning. Jake McGee in the win, an inning and a third. No hits, no strikeouts, no runs, 1 walk. Jace Fry, an inning and a third. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 run. And that 1 run was a big one. Trevor Story's solo home run. Tyler Kinley, walk, strikeout. He made an error in the bottom of the 10th, but his inning is good enough for the save. Charlie Blackmon also drives in 2 runs. Ryan McMahon goes 3 for 4, 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Trevor Story 2 for 5 with that homer. Elias Diaz 2 for 4 with a double and run batted in. Highlights in offense for the White Sox. Yasmani Grandal 2 for 4, double, home run, 2 runs scored. Nomar Mazar 1 for 4 with a 3-run home run. Tim Anderson goes 3 for 5. Rockies do get him to strike out twice, and a big strikeout in the bottom of the 10th from Tyler Kinley. Edwin Encarnacion goes 1 for 3 with a run scored. Rockies will try to split the road trip after losing 2 of 3 to the Marlins. They have a chance to take the 2 games here in Chicago tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.